Hi fellow designers, welcome to Design Talks channel. I'm Vahan and we are continuing the series of episodes on one of the most important topics, design system. In the last video, if you haven't watched it yet, I recommend you to do it. We discuss what design system actually is and what benefits the whole company may get if you build it properly. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the most important and I would even dare to say the hardest step in the development of the design system, which I call preparation. So fortunately, a lot of design systems fail because some teams tend to skip this step and as a result build some useless collection of elements and guides which instead of helping the design process create some artificial boundaries, So what you have to know before you actually start developing your product's design system. In this video, I'll do the best to describe that. So let's get started. Alrighty, at the first glance, the design system creation may not seem a big deal at all. We can create some color set, basic typography, buttons, inputs, active states for elements, disabled state, etc. But if our purpose is to create a system aiming to increase our design team productivity, keep the whole product consistent and coherent, we have to spend some time for preparation and research. The things we have to keep in mind no matter where we are in this development process, especially in the beginning, the design system should be A. Useful, it should really help the design team to, let's say, work better, and B. Flexible. It shouldn't create any artificial restrictions, okay? And yeah, by the way, working on the design system is an endless process, so what we are working right now is the very initial version of it, the version 1.0. So let's start what you have to research. During this video series, as an example, I'm going to use the design system of Crisp, a startup where I work now. So let's go. I assume if you show an interest in developing a design system from scratch, you probably landed a job in some young company or a startup which may have some design, but it's not organized at all. So the first thing you have to know is the design system creation shouldn't be your first ever task, okay? Your first goal should be the clear understanding of all aspects from high-level things like why we are building this product, who we build this product for, up to some specifications of the business domain and technical features, okay? After gathering all this information, you can start analyzing what it all means from the design perspective. Okay, just a simple example on a Crisp product. So let's just observe it. Right now, Crisp has a menu bar app for Mac and for Windows. Plus, you can manage your personal or team profile on the web. From a UI perspective, what does it mean? Like the window apps, menu bar apps are impossible to resize. Their height is usually set up maximum about 600 or 640 pixels. That's the size that may fit even some small displays. If we compare, for example, the Dropbox window app with its menu bar app, you can see the same elements appear way smaller in menu bar app, okay? Lack of space is enforcing designers to use extra small elements. Here you go. For example, the upgrade button is way smaller here, and as well as you can see some extra small texts. As you see, the fact that we have a menu bar app automatically means that we cannot skip the usage of very small elements, like it or not. I personally don't. So that's it. That was a simple example, but I hope you got the logic. Instead of drawing some collection of buttons, headings, inputs, and then saying, oh my god, these elements are not fitting into this small space, we have to research our app and create the small elements from the very beginning, okay? What about the same typography? Before I joined Crisp, they already had a brand typeface, which is a cool one. It's named GT Walsham. It's a Swiss font, but still I started testing how exactly small sizes like 9, 11 or 12 points are displayed on low quality screens. And so what I decided is it's a better idea, to move forward with system fonts for that sizes. So as you see, it's all about research. That's the only right decision on how to start. And by the way, That may save you way more time than it might take from you, so never underestimate the power of research. This is an extra importance too. You should be aware of your company product's possible future and start tuning the system to match the upcoming projects as well. Okay, maybe for example, the company plans to have a dark mode. I'll probably record a video on how to create dark modes where we will talk about it in more detail. But shortly, for like your design system, that may mean, for example, that you have to keep the color palette simple, clean, consistent to make like switching between modes easy. As for your company roadmap, I will suggest to divide it into three parts. So first is the nearest future. That's the projects you're gonna have in the upcoming 3 months. Like further future, upcoming 6 to 7 months. And like, farthest future for any digital product with all these Morlocks and Eloys, maybe like projects that you're gonna have a year from now. So your goal for the version 1.0 is to create a parents library and guides to match the present and that nearest future. The rest you'll develop down the road. So parallelly with like reading the roadmap and research, I will suggest having more conversations with product managers, salespeople, marketing team, and CEO if possible, to gain more insights on your business domain, how exactly you are going to sell the product. This is very crucial. Then analyze all that info and make some notes on how all these things are going to affect the overall design of the product. Maybe you need to highlight some specific things. Who knows? For many young designers who had never worked on the design system, it's always a big surprise. But the design system is not only about the design team. In a previous video, I've mentioned that having a great design system makes designers' collaboration with other teammates, especially developers, way easier. So first you have to figure out who is going to work with a design team. Usually besides designers, the design system team includes front-end developers and product managers. So schedule some meetings with the team, present what the design system is, why we need it, how it's gonna make our life easier. I'm sharing, by the way, my thoughts on how to do it in the previous video. Increase, for example, we even have a Slack channel where I share all the updates with the team. Also, my teammates are making their suggestions on what we can add there. So having a design system development team is, again, one of your main preparation goals. Okay, now as we have the whole info and the team set up, we need to think where to start with. People are always asking, should I build some system first, or may I start the mocks and the system will appear by itself? The global problem with UX design is that it's a very young field. Even the person which invented the user experience terminology is still alive. If you don't know who it is, of course, it's Don Norman. So, and yeah, of course, some processes haven't become big standards yet. So if you ever doubt, if you're not sure where to start, it's better to look for some disciplines which are older and are the nearest to product design. In my opinion, it's not graphic design, interior, industrial, any other design. The closest discipline to UX design is the architecture for sure. Yeah, we are like the same architects, but we do like software instead of buildings. So ask any architect friend how they usually start project. Like in ancient Egypt, up until today, all buildings you see were first just drawn on a piece of paper by the architect. The same works for our design system. To make it as flexible and useful as possible, you shouldn't create a library first and then think where and how use these extra huge buttons, ugly colors, etc. Instead, especially if you plan the product's redesign, sketch some screens. I'll suggest sketching the most typical and the most crowded screens or pages. During that process, don't think about the design system at all. Just sketch them the way you like, the way you and your teammates may find it kind of appropriate, During the sketching, you may get what kind of components you need. Like, are you able to build the design system with only 3 colors and 5 shades of gray, that kind of things? Or is it overall a great idea to have such a minimalistic design for this particular product? So after you finish this mocks, finally, da-dum, da-da-da-dum, you can start working directly on the version 1.0. That's it. So as you see, nothing too complicated, but still the biggest tip on how to make a great design system is taking this preparation period very seriously and doing the best you can to conduct it in the highest possible level. You know, you have to get the right direction from the very beginning. That's all folks for today. I will continue videos about the design system and how to create them from scratch. The next video though is gonna be about the trends of the upcoming year. Yeah, I'm gonna do this kind of video too. And after that, we will continue our design system journey. So, see you next time. Bye bye.